The king of the gods is screaming. Thunder cracks across Olympus. Clouds tear open. The sky itself seems to shudder. And Zeus, the ruler of heaven, clutches his head like a dying man. Something is inside his skull. Not a thought, not madness, something alive. The pain comes in. Waves, violent, crushing, like a hammer striking bone from the inside. Gods gather around him, frozen. No one has ever seen Zeus like this. The tyrant of lightning, begging for relief. Then the command comes. Split my head open. Silence. No god wants to do it. Because if Zeus dies, the universe may fall with him. But the screaming grows louder, more desperate, more inhuman. Finally, one god steps forward. The axe rises, the blade falls. Bone cracks, and from the shattered skull of Zeus, she emerges, fully grown, eyes blazing, armor gleaming in divine fire. A warrior goddess, Athena, no childhood, number, mother beside her, just war, wisdom, and a birth soaked in pain. But this wasn't a miracle. It was a crime prevention, because Zeus had heard a prophecy, and he was terrified. Tonight, we uncover the dark truth behind the strangest birth in Greek mythology, a story about fear, betrayal, and the one child even the king of the gods couldn't control.
Unveil the legends.
Zeus ruled the universe, but power didn't make him brave. It made him paranoid, because Zeus knew something about kings of the gods. They never stay kings. His father, Cronus, learned that the hard way. Cronus had devoured his own children the moment they were born, one by one, swallowed whole, because a prophecy warned him. One of them would overthrow him, and he was right. Zeus survived. Zeus rebelled. Zeus destroyed him. Now, the throne of Olympus belonged to the son, who escaped, but victory didn't erase the prophecy. It only passed the curse forward, because the ancient forces of fate had another warning. A woman would bear Zeus a child, and that child would grow stronger than his father. History was about to repeat itself, and Zeus refused to become the next Cronus. The woman was Metis, not just another goddess. Metis was something far more dangerous. She was the goddess of wisdom, cunning, strategy, intelligence, sharp enough to bend the future. And Zeus fell in love with her, which meant the prophecy had already begun. At first, Zeus didn't panic. He convinced himself he could control fate. After all, he had beaten it once. But prophecies don't fade, they grow. Soon, the whispers reached him. Metis was pregnant, and the prophecy revealed its full horror. The first child would be a daughter, wise, powerful. But the second child, a son destined to overthrow Zeus, destroy him, take his throne. The king of the gods felt the cold grip of history tightening around his neck. He remembered Cronus, the devouring, the terror, the inevitable fall. Zeus had two choices: trust fate or destroy it. So Zeus did something monstrous. He tricked Metis. One moment they were speaking. The next moment Zeus smiled and said something strange. Show me your power. Transform into something small. Metis laughed. She was a shapeshifter, turning into animals, water, fire. It was effortless. So she transformed into something tiny. And in that moment, Zeus swallowed her whole, just like his father once swallowed his children. The king of the gods believed he had one: no mother, number, birth, no son to overthrow him. The Prophecy was buried inside his stomach. Problem solved. Or so he thought, because Metis didn't die. Inside Zeus, she was still alive and still pregnant. Time passed, and within the god's body, something began to grow. Metis forged armor. She crafted weapons, hammering metal inside Zeus's skull. Clang, clang, clang. The sound echoed through the mind of a god. At first, it was faint, then unbearable. The headaches began. Lightning storms erupted across the cosmos. Sky, mountains trembled. Zeus screamed. Something was being born inside him. But here's the darker interpretation scholars rarely talk about. Athena wasn't just born from Zeus. She was born from a crime. Think about it. Metis was the true source of wisdom. Her name literally meant cunning intelligence. When Zeus swallowed her, he didn't just stop the prophecy. He absorbed her power. Some ancient Greek thinkers believed something disturbing. Zeus stole wisdom itself. Athena's birth from his head wasn't natural. It was symbolic. The mind of Zeus became the prison where Metis' intelligence was trapped and reshaped. Athena carried her mother's wisdom, but her loyalty belonged to Zeus. And the prophecy? Zeus partially outsmarted fate. The first child was born, Athena. But there was no second child, no son to overthrow him, because Metis could never give birth again. She was sealed forever inside Zeus, which means Athena's birth was not just violent, it was political. A myth explaining how male gods took control of wisdom, power, and civilization roles that earlier cultures often gave to goddesses. Athena became the perfect solution, a goddess born from a man, loyal to a man, serving the throne of a man. But darker, Athena emerged, fully armed, helmet, shield, spear, ready for war. No infant, no innocence, just a warrior stepping directly onto the battlefield of the gods, as if she already understood the violence that created her. When Athena stepped out of Zeus's shattered skull, Olympus trembled. They, gods, watched in silence. Then something unexpected happened. Athena didn't challenge Zeus. She knelt. The daughter destined to rival him became his greatest ally, goddess of wisdom, strategy, war, fought with intelligence instead of rage. Athena became the mind of Olympus. She guided heroes, protected cities, built civilizations, and Zeus remained king. For once, the prophecy failed, or so it seemed, because the irony of this myth is chilling. Zeus tried to stop fate by swallowing wisdom, but in doing so, he created the most intelligent goddess in existence. Athena never overthrew him, but she became something more powerful than a rebel. She became the voice that shaped the world, the strategist behind heroes like Odysseus, the protector of Athens, the mind behind victory. Zeus feared losing his throne. Instead, he gave birth to the very force that would guide human civilization. The birth of Athena reveals something ancient and unsettling. The gods feared their children. Cronus feared Zeus. Zeus feared his own child, because power always knows one truth. Someone stronger is coming. But Athena's story hides another mystery. She is the goddess of wisdom, strategy, war, yet she was born ready for battle, without ever fighting for her own freedom, which raises a haunting question. Was Athena truly loyal to Zeus, or was she quietly playing a much longer game? Because in the next story, we meet a god who didn't use wisdom. He used chaos, madness, wine. and a kind of power that even Zeus struggled to control. The story of the most unpredictable god in Olympus, Dionysus,